Hello, hello, hello. Okay, guys, I'm going to attempt to do this one more time, and I'm doing a different strategy since, yeah, last week literally made me want to bang my head on a wall. I've never had so many interruptions in recording, and anything that could go wrong actually did go wrong. And so I decided what I'm going to do is first I will walk you guys through my new adventure of book boxes. I've discovered that I fell in love with making these and that I just have this passion for mixed media. And so I am literally running with it. And I don't know that I am the greatest teacher on this because I'm literally just learning how to do it myself. I think this is like my third week. And so, but I'm also happy to take you guys along. So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through the books I've been doing. Obviously, the more you do, the better you get. And the way my mind works is I have all these thoughts that hit me at once and all these ideas that hit me at once. They don't stay in one flow. I don't know really how to explain it. So unless you have this kind of mind like mine that just gets slammed with a bunch of thoughts, it's hard to explain to people. And then when I'm learning, I'm trying to record and share all these ideas. So I thought, you know what, just slow down and show all the book boxes that you've done. And then in the next video, I will show you the different materials and some of the different ways that I've learned how to do it. But I'm also going to link the video that actually inspired me. And that way you would probably have a better teacher than me. And I always want to give credit where credit's due. But also, again, I'm learning. And so I'm happy to take you along on my crazy journey. But I also wanted you to have a really good tutorial that showed you step to step. And I am going to go ahead and show you, but again, I just think differently than most people, and so sometimes that doesn't always translate well. So let's go ahead and do a flip through. And as always, thank you for joining me. And I truly appreciate those of you that are staying with me during my crazy learning time. After the retreat, I definitely am going to work with people that are more techie smart to teach me so that I can improve my channel. Because I like mixed media, I'm definitely going to have to learn how to edit, as much as I didn't want to learn that. But I also want my channel to look better. So thank you so much for staying with me as I am learning how to do this. I truly appreciate you. Also, would you please subscribe, and share? I'm working on growing my channel, so for every 50 new subbies, I give out some happy mail. If you want to be added to the list, just find me on Facebook at Jackie Black and shoot me your address on Messenger, and I will add you to the list, which I'm just going down. The next 650 will be my next happy mail, and then 700. And then I thought we would begin after the retreat making goodies for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Those are always the bigger milestones, so I always do bigger packages for that. So thank you for subscribing. I truly appreciate all of you, and I will always link my favorite channels as well to go on over and join, like Boho Daydreams. Just go over there and make sure you're answering all the questions so that they know that you are a real person. Okay, so shall we get started? So this was the very first book box that I made. I'm going to link the video that I was inspired by. It's actually made using just a little tea box. And I just had a lot of fun with this. I have been trying really hard to not buy new stuff, but to use all the supplies that I actually have. Because, yeah, I'm kind of a hoarder with pretty things, and I need to start using it. And so all of these little goodies that you see here from my friend Susie, she has an Etsy shop called Mary Not Martha. And she is also on YouTube at Alabaster Flask 7. I will do my best to remember to link her. I also use a lot of Sheila Gingrich goodies because, again, I have been hoarding them. It's time to use them. And so I will make sure to link her information as well. And then I was very blessed with a friend of mine. Her mother had passed away and she was a huge crafter. And so she gave me tons and tons of vintage books and buttons. And I mean, there's so much. I haven't even gone through all the boxes. I'm trying to go through one a week. There's like a lot of stuff. And so I've been using a lot of vintage things with her. So as you can see, this was just kind of built up. The little tea box is this, and then you just kind of build it up. Again, in the next video, I will show you the different processes that you can do that in. But this was my very first one, and so I was happy that it looked like a box. It's kind of like some of my sewing projects. I'm like the excited, you know, first year student in home ec. I get excited when it just resembles what I'm going for. So this was my very first one. And then I can't remember from there because then I had this, you know, crazy, you know, thing hit my brain, and I literally started making about 10 boxes at once. So I went a little crazy like normal. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and show you the different ways that I have been doing it. As you can see, these are all straight spines. After trying a whole bunch of different methods, and the way I watch a tutorial is I get inspired, but then I just kind of start doing it on my own. I can't really follow measurements and all of that, which is also why it's hard to do a tutorial then. But I will try to remember to show you guys like each ways. I have to slow the process down in one way because I can only show you one way at a time. So these are just like the little straight spines that I did. I am trying to play with more color. And so this was actually an ornament, a Christmas ornament. I had done a big like princess themed Christmas tree for my granddaughters when they were really little. And the tree itself, like, it was like toast. And so I removed all the cute little ornaments and stuff and thought, you know what, someday I'll be able to use them. Well, that is what I did. And so this is just a Christmas ornament. This is a wonderful image that my friend Susie had sent me. These are some frames that I had bought at Hobby Lobby. And I actually, let's see, this one is covered with a paper towel. I tried to do that too with all of these different ones as I was filming to show you that you don't have to have like all these supplies. You can use napkins and paper towels and things like that. And I had a lot of seed beads, and I literally just poured the glue down on this and then dumped it like it was glitter. Because I thought that would just really tie this in. And then these are just some rhinestones that I had. And so like this kind, I just bought those and I thought, oh, that goes perfect with this. This is actually just a vintage like table runner that I had that I just cut these pieces out and then I glued it on there, and then these were some jewels that I bought, and this too came from that table runner. And so then, and I'll show you, there are like what I have discovered. I think there's like 4 or 5 different ways to make like the page look. I'm always going to gear towards the grungy look. I can't help myself. I love like the old look. And then you can see that the inside of this box too is just covered with a paper towel. Okay? And so there's one. I'm reaching around here to try to set them. Now, I will be very, oh, and see my beads are still coming off because I'm learning like what products to use. All right, so then I found that I absolutely love playing with clay. That being said, I am going to try, I'm hoping this week or next to try some of these homemade recipes I found that I could maybe pass on to you guys that you could just make at home, because the ingredients you could buy at a dollar store. They're super cheap, but this is made using some air dry clay. Now, in my brain and my universe, I have all these ideas, and so this was my first experiment with this look. And I will say that this is probably the genre that I'm going to start going down, as I love playing with the clay. And so these were just some book corners that I had that I order en masse from Amazon. I actually got this look by using my metal ruler. I just cut into the clay, and then all the little dots you see is just a hot glue gun, because again, I am always trying to think, well, what if somebody doesn't have this or that? What could they use for that? So these are literally, I just took my glue gun and started squirting it all over the place. I will tell you that when you begin playing with mixed media, you have to understand that it looks super weird, and you have to get out of that, especially if you're a perfectionist. I'm not. But when you are laying it down at first, it'll look really goofy. Just remember, you're going to cover the whole thing in gesso, or I would recommend using gesso. You can use acrylic paint, but I would recommend gesso. And so you kind of have to, in your mind's eye, see how this will look after I paint it all, and then I add my colors. Now, I had done a video on using molds and glue, and so these are all the molds that I have, and then this is just glue. And so if you want to see how I did that, there is a video on that. This is just some cheap lace that I had. I believe I purchased it at Walmart. And then I just glued that down, and then of course I used acrylic paints to paint over everything. These are some images that I've had for a really long time that I bought from Amazon. So I'm trying to use those up, and then I think I got these at these little frames at Hobby Lobby. And again, you know, I'm just playing, and you can see that they're all like different sizes, but they're just a lot of fun. Okay, so now where are we at? Okay, then I wanted to see if I could make a book box using Sheila's goodies, because I have so many of them. So I took one of Sheila's packets that I had that had the velvet and had all of these beautiful trims. I don't know that I did justice with all of her goodies, but I did try. This was just a wood frame I had, and again, these images are from the Amazon collection that I had. And then again, I just used a glue gun to just like splatter all over here. And then this is from a tablecloth that I've been using. I used it on that very first one I showed you. And then I just kind of glued that over the entire box. And then I used some of Susie's embellishments as well to cover the inside of the box. I'm experimenting to see what I like best with it. I probably won't cover the inside like that anymore. I'm trying a couple of new things this week. Again, I'm just experimenting, and so this is just what I'm coming up with as I learn. It's kind of like if you look back at your first junk journals that you made, and then you look back 5 years later, you can see the improvement. You'll also find what it is you really, really like. And so this is a new way, though. You can use Sheila's goodies in mixed media. And that's kind of what I was experimenting with. Could I do that? Okay, so then sitting in front of me, I have this old I think it was late 60s, early 70s sewing kit that I had gotten from my friend's mama. And I thought, well, that's a good place to start. It is packed full of vintage buttons and goodies. And so, of course, wouldn't that make a great book box? So what I did on this one, and let's see, what's this covered with? This is also covered with a paper towel. Again, these are just molds that I used with glue. These are actually the little pearls. I stuck those on. So you can see that whatever you have laying around, you can use. Then what I did is I took a bunch of cheap Walmart buttons that I had to kind of make the base of this. And then I glued on all my little goodies. These two are buttons, and then these are the pearls. And then I gessoed everything. And then I went in, because I play with a lot of these flowers that I had. And as you can see, I use a ton of really cool vintage buttons. And I just kind of glued those around. And I used a little bit of my jewels that I had. to showcase all of the different vintage buttons. And then I had bought some bags of buttons from my friend Andrea over at Boho Daydreams. And so in those bags were these beads. And so I thought, oh, cool. Now I'll have to go in with some tweezers and then pull out these strings from hot glue, because you can see that I use hot glue. And that's another thing. I have been using all these different glues to see what works best. And so down the road, I'll share what I have found works the best for me. Then I just went in with paints, painted over everything, and ta-da, you have another book box. Using up all your different stash things. Okay, so again, I wanted to use up the images. Now, because I know that this is something I absolutely love, I went ahead and I invested in some crepe paper because it makes the process go a little bit faster. So that's what this book is covered in. And then again, this is just a cheap piece of lace that I had. This is a wood frame I had, again, those same images. And I bought a bag of these little jewels. Again, these are just clay molds that I use. This is actually just some really thin cardboard, and I just cut these strips out. And again, this is just all glue. Okay, so you can see that you can use a ton of different things. Then I just gesso everything, and I go in and I paint it. And there you go. There is another version. Phew, told you I've been a little busy. All right, so this is one that I did try to film on last week's little adventure that was a disaster. And I made this one because I wanted to show you that you did not need to go to the store, that you could make these with whatever you had on hand. Again, I've been using just straight up Amazon boxes. I literally went through an entire stash in the last couple of weeks because I make a lot of mistakes. And I also was learning, and you use just cardboard. And so I actually used up my stash, so now I have family and friends giving me their boxes. So you can use any box that you have. So this wonderful little piece came from my friend Pamela Ash. She had sent me a bag that she thought I could use of these, like, I don't even know what they are. They're like a mold. Pamela, if you watch this, would you just comment? And I will try to remember to pull the bag to show you the different things that she sent me. But that's what this is. And then my son-in-law had gone to a yard sale last year and found a box for like $2, and it had a bunch of broken jewelry and broken beads in it. And so what I did is I disassembled a necklace, and that is what this is. I just took, I don't know, it wasn't wire cutters, but whatever my plier things are. I don't have them right by me. And I just cut it apart. And I took pliers and I bent these, and that is what this is. If you're following me on Instagram or you're following me on Facebook, I do my best to actually show you the entire process. I take pictures as I go. And then these literally were just, surprisingly, I didn't even know I had this. These are just beads. And they were like in a seashell, and I thought, well, how cool is that? And then all of this is just glue. I mean, I just started moving my glue gun, and that's all this is. And then underneath this, all this is I took a paper towel and I covered the entire book with a paper towel, and I did it kind of thick and I kind of scrunched it up. And then I took, for these ends here, I just took one strip of the paper towel. You know how it gives you where you can pull it and it's, you know, like a smaller sheet. Then I just rolled that up and glued as I rolled it up. And then I made these bands. And then I literally, again, just took my glue gun and I made all the different dots. But you can see what a wonderful texture that this makes. And then I just went crazy with the different paints until I got a color that I liked. And then this is from an image from Stamperia, I believe, because I'm going to attempt to make tags. So I am like, I love watching other people, like they make looking and doing tags so easy, and tags are actually something that is a bit of a struggle, but I'm going to attempt to do that next week. Again, I will show you the different ways that you can make these lines in these pages. But again, there you go. And again, I liked this look because I can't help myself. I really like the grungy look. So that was another version. All right, let's see. We're getting to the end here. Okay, so then finally I came to this one. I will be very honest, between the clay and how I did this, which I used wood putty, it is turning out to be my favorite way to do it. So I'm finding different things that I actually like. I like the look, but the thing with wood putty is I could chuck this at my cement walls on my basement and nothing is gonna happen to it. And so I really liked that idea. So this one is made using wood putty. You can kind of see that it has like a different look to it, and you can see also that I did the pages a little bit different. I am gonna do on camera, good or bad. I hope that you'll stay with me because it may turn out to be awful, but I'm just gonna post it. The different ways then that you can do this, because I am getting ready to make one with the wood putty, because last week I assembled 4 different of these book boxes on camera for you. So now I'm just gonna make them. I'm just gonna take you along for 1 or 2 of them with the process of how I do it. And then again, this is just some cheap Walmart lace that I had. This is done again just using a glue gun. And then these are my molds using the glue. Okay, so I just want you to know, if you don't have clay, that you can use your hot glue gun to make these molds, because on my next videos I'm going to actually be playing with clay. Can't promise you that I can do that on camera. I'm going to try, but my setup for clay is down over there on another table, and it took me a really long time to position this camera. I'm very, very hesitant to move it. So this is a style that I really, really like. For one thing, it's so sturdy. It's not going anywhere. You can also see that when you are putting your books together, that you do use a piece of material. On this one, I did not cover it. I am now covering it. I will do my best to remember step by step, but again, because I have been mass making these, I may not remember everything, but I assure you that I'm going to continue doing these. And I will get better as I go. After the retreat, you know, I am hoping to really improve my channel and the quality of it. And that might make doing these tutorials a lot better for you and for me, where I am not so frustrated. Because I do want them to look good, but I'm just kind of not there yet. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing what I have made. Again, I appreciate all of you for coming along. On the next video, all I'm going to do is, I was really good. I wrote out step-by-step instructions, and I wrote out all the different supplies you need, and yeah, and then the videos were like so awful. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, not even, you could even put this one on a blooper. And so that video, I'm literally just going to show you the different materials that you can use. I just want to encourage you, please know you don't have to go out and buy all of this stuff. It was an investment for me because, again, I have discovered I love mixed media, and I have all these ideas in my head that they just got to come out. And so between Canvas and the book boxes, I just want to try all these things. So I'm just going to give you a list of what you have to just assemble them, which is things you have around the house, and then the different things I've used. So that will be the next video. All right, guys. So again, thank you for all your support, all your encouragement. You have no idea how you guys bless me. I'm probably stepping out in this because of all the wonderful encouragement that I've gotten from all of you. So thank you. And guess what, guys? I'll see you on the flip side. Till then, ciao.